Yeah, I don't know. There's a difference between like disagreeing with somebody like we're doing and like I know I called him an idiot, right? But like that's because this is really idiotic. But there's a difference between that and like making up fake names for somebody or making lies about people, right? And that's what's happening in the chat. So I just want to make sure the chat is aware that like we're not here to like totally shit on people for no reason. We're here to have a conversation about this.
I think what you're saying is saying like this is idiotic behavior, you're being dumb, is different than just like bullying, cyberbullying and brigading. And I would be appalled if people from my live stream then went and like brigaded him or cyberbullied him. In other words, he's trying to play the victim when he is the bully. Do not make him into the actual victim by going over there and actually cyberbullying him. Do not do that. Let's talk about DroneCamps. We're done with the super chats. We got questions queued up. I think it's a good time to talk about DroneCamps and Botgrinder. And Blunty, I'm going to put a maximum like 12-minute timer on this. Okay, Blunty? I don't want to rant about this for a long time.
Okay.
But I do want to talk about it.
You have until 8:10.
12 minutes. Okay, that's fine. So, long story short, Botgrinder did a video. Oh, now I feel I'm like under pressure. Now I'm under pressure. Botgrinder did a video. Are influencers ruining FPV? It's actually really cool. I don't agree with everything Botgrinder said in this video. But that's okay. We're grown adults. I actually really enjoyed Botgrinder doing this kind of video essay format. It was really enjoyable to watch, and I actually think he's really good at it. I really like these videos where someone lays out the history of something for 15 minutes in a sort of an expository way. It was really good. And one of the things there are
some channels out there that'll have affiliate links to every damn drone and every drone.
There you go. That's it. He said there are some channels out there that'll have affiliate links to every damn drone, and babada, he put these thumbnails up. Guess what? He got a cease and desist from, from DroneCamps. Sort of. Now, I want to tell you that I reached out to DroneCamps and said, bro, did you really do this? And he said, I'm not going to share the intimate details of our conversation, but I wanted to know, number one, did you really do this? Is this for real? Because I don't want to assume that it's real when it's like fake in some way and like badmouth you, because I'm totally going to badmouth you. And he was like, yeah, no, he confirmed it was real. And then I said to him, everything I'm going to say to you. And I said, knowing all the things that I said, do you still feel like this is a course of action you feel committed to? And he, in short, said, yep. So I want to be clear. I'm not talking out of school. I'm not talking behind anybody's back. I have had this conversation with DroneCamps privately. This cease and desist is bullshit. So the first reason it's bullshit, again, apologies, parents, if your kids are watching, but this is a swearing segment. The first reason it's bullshit is that it's actually just completely badly written. Statutory law of the state of Philadelphia prohibits the unlawful defamation of character or misrepresentation. For examples, refer to Exhibit A to this letter. The statements was Justin Davis saw the content on Botgrinder YouTube channel on February 17th at this link and is willfully misleading and without merit because blah, blah, blah. This is not grammatically correct. So I don't know what happened here. A lawyer didn't write this. I'm going to guess that DroneCamps went to ChatGPT, asked them for a cease and desist letter, and then didn't proofread it because it's not even grammatically correct. This is a complete attempt at a bullshit scare letter. And I hate it. It's bullying. It's ineffective bullying. He didn't even go hire a lawyer to write a real C&D. It's crap bullying. It's not legally sound. And it makes him look like weak. It makes him look petty. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. The only downsides here for Justin Davis, DroneCamps. He is going to take a huge hit from this. I assume his inbox is full of people telling him to F off to no positive effect whatsoever. This was a huge mistake. Huge. Pretty woman. And I said to him, I think you're making a huge mistake or something along those lines. So just so you know. All right.
Just real quick, in case you didn't know, he posted your entire conversation and made another comment on his YouTube channel on his community page.
I mean, that's fine. I'm surprised to hear that because that was private communication.
He said you're victim shaming, you hurt him, you put all this kind of shit.
Okay, I'm going to need extra time. So that's fine. I generally don't say things in private that I wouldn't say in public, although obviously there are exceptions to that. And I'm not surprised or offended that I am surprised. I'm a little surprised that he shared that. I did not share the screenshots of our messages because I thought that would be inappropriate and disrespectful. Looks like Joshua Bardwell does not want DroneCamps to stand up for ourselves. After Botgrinder used our thumbnail images in his video claiming reviewers with affiliate links are not genuine, tell the victim to should be quiet or more harm will come to you. It will make you a target. This will hurt you. If you see a news story, oh, I see what happened. I said to him, Blunty, people are submitting this for the news, and I think we have to talk about it. I mean, I guess it's fair game. Did he share the whole thing? Fine. We're sharing emails, right? Is that Blunty? Is that over the line? Like, he's sharing my emails? Does that open the door for me to share the whole conversation?
100%.
100%? Okay. If you say
because he didn't include context. Like the problem with this, the problem with what he's doing is he's sharing a private conversation he didn't tell you about, and he's not sharing context or his replies or anything that happened in the conversation. So to me, that's extremely disingenuous.
Two wrongs don't make a right. If it's wrong for me to share this, then I want to do the right thing. I don't give a fuck. But it sounds like you
to clear up the conversation. Yeah. I mean, that's
so. Here's the whole conversation. I said, "Did you send the C&D to Botgrinder, or is it fake, or what? People are submitting it to the news. Oh no, I've shared my email on the internet. People are submitting it for the news. I'd like to get your side of whatever that is." He says he wouldn't respond. I was just wanting him to talk. No legal action at this point. He has caused us much pain, suffering, subscriber loss, hate, reputation harm. We want him to remove the defamatory video and our IP from his video. Not threatening court. You are threatening court. That's what a C&D is. I don't think a news item will help us. I think it will further the hate. Oh, yeah. I'd like to keep this between him and me, but he refuses to talk to me. Public bashing is not nice. Okay. Love to chat about it sometime. I'd appreciate you not fanning the flames, though. It was supposed to be private. Listen, you dumb... Oh, no, let's not get personal. When you send someone a cease and desist letter, they're not going to keep it private. How? Like, just... What? But where's your head at? Where's your head at? That any part... Like, how did you think this would go? That he's going to keep it private?
This is the most entitled conversation. This is the most entitled BS I've ever seen in my life. I had a problem. I shared a thing. Nobody should have shared it. It should have all been private. Who gives a fuck? Do exactly what I want. Fuck you. That's exactly what he's doing. He's putting himself in a position of being a victim and then saying everybody else is wrong because he's a victim. So no matter what you do, no matter how you reply, no matter what you respond, it's all everybody else's problem except the victim in this case. We're not idiots. We're not 10. We're not stupid. We can all see the context of the situation, the video that came out, what was in the video, and your reply. If somebody shares that, that's your problem. You sent it, you idiot.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
This is so stupid. This is so entitled. Grow up. Go to a fucking... If you need to go to a therapist, go to a therapist. This is not proper behavior. This is insane behavior. And you need to take a look at what you're doing, go back to the drawing board, and figure out what you're doing. Do you even want to have a channel? Are you doing it because you have to? You need money for your family? Because that's what you said in the past? Then that's a problem. Because you're doing something you hate. Because that's what it seems like. Because that's why you respond like this, right? Why else would you respond like this? You're a YouTuber. You have 200,000 subscribers. What kind of message do you think Bardwell has gotten? What kind of videos have been made about Bardwell? This is ridiculous. It's absolutely setting a double standard to every other person in the entire YouTuber community because you're special. It's total BS.
It's total BS. So, unfortunately, the C&D was supposed to be private and Botgrinder shared it. How mean of him. We are getting hordes of online harassment. And I said, no shit you are. What did you think would happen? That was just my honest off-the-cuff reply. Public defamation and harassment hurts people's business and rep. I said, let me be open with you about my take. And this is the message he shared. I said, this is a huge mistake. And I say this was me going to him and saying, I'm going to be open with you about how I feel about this, because if there comes a time when I make a public statement, these are the kind of thoughts that I have, and I want to make sure you've heard them from me in private and had the chance to respond before I say them in public. I did not go just release a video about this. Even if you had grounds for a defamation suit, it would be a mistake to pursue this. It makes you look like a bully. It calls more attention to the video and makes you a target. Then we can talk about the legal case, which I talked about already. In every possible way, you are working to your own detriment by sending the cease and desist. There is no upside for you here at all, not legally, not financially, not in terms of your reputation or your social capital. There are only downsides. On a personal level, you look like a bully, using legal threats to stifle speech that's critical of you, and you're doing it against somebody that I consider a friend. And I want you to know that I will express these same opinions when we cover the story on the news. And I had to word this very carefully because I didn't want it to sound like a threat. I didn't want, and if someone says, I just want you to know, I'm going to do something that's bad for you, it sounds like a threat. But I also needed to say, these are my thoughts, and these are the things that I will express, and I don't want to shit on you without having given you the chance to respond and letting you know how I feel. If there are any additional developments between now and Tuesday that might affect my interpretation of the story, then I will take that into consideration. In other words, if you want to stop being a dumbass and wind this back, there's still a chance. My personal recommendation is that you make a public statement withdrawing the C&D, explain that it was a mistake, and try to look like somebody who is able to take criticism without getting offended, instead of somebody who resorts to legal threats at the smallest slight. Again, very difficult to thread the needle of not sounding like I'm making a threat or making an ultimatum, but also just on a personal level, I think you're fucking up, and this is the thing you should do that will make it right for you. And then, okay. He said, I want him to remove reference to our intellectual property. And I said, I understand that you want that. There's no legal basis for you to demand that, and doing so makes you look petty and weak. Having people take shots at you comes with being a creator. You are taking the bait, and you are amplifying what was a forgettable call out into a battle of two titans. The only thing you're doing is making people who are ambivalent about you decide they don't like you. I have to think that he's in a bad spot. I don't know. But either he's just a really sort of petty person who just overreacts to slights. I don't know if he has a history of doing this. But for him to react to what is, people in Botgrinder's comments were like, where did he even mention DroneCamps? They thought, some of the, at least two of the commenters were like, man, DroneCamps really called himself out. Because Botgrinder said, shill's gonna shill, and he sent a C&D. They didn't even know he was referenced. It's less than a half a second that he's on screen, and it moves on. And so for him to react like this and double down and triple down makes me wonder if he's losing subscribers or losing revenue and really worried about his future, and he feels like he has to do this. And if he is in a bad spot, then I feel for him. I would say that. Okie dokie.
I would say one more thing. Go get a real job. Stop doing this if you can't take the criticism. You're on a place where you get criticized. You can either block the comments, learn to ignore other videos, and deal with your life, or you got to move on, man. Because there's no, if you're going to, the problem I have here is that we've heard him say before, you're hurting his livelihood. That's when he got in the argument with you last time, a year or however long it was ago.
I made a slightly critical comment about him.
Yeah, and so his argument was, you're hurting his livelihood. You're taking money away from his family. And the way I think about that is if that's the case, if you can't handle the criticism and you can't run your channel in such a way as a single comment from another creator tanks your channel such that you can't afford to pay your bills, it's time to reconsider what you're doing. You're acting like there's no other solution. This is what you're doing, and this is the only option, and I'm going to die if I don't do this. And I feel like there's a disconnect between that and then the responses you have to criticism. That's all that I will say.
He has 200,000 subscribers. I don't know what his view count is like, but he has 200,000 subscribers. He's wildly successful. If his subs are down and his views are down and his revenue's down, that reflects the content that he's making. It doesn't reflect what Botgrinder did. You make good content. You have an audience who likes your content. You serve your audience. You cross your freaking fingers that the algorithm doesn't screw you in some way. And then some other, like Bot has 40,000 subscribers. Justin has 200,000 subscribers. You're winning, man. You're winning. You know what I do when some stupid little punk with 2,000 subscribers talks shit about me? I laugh, and then I go look at my analytics at how much my revenue was, and then I just forget about it, and I get the fuck back to work making content that serves my audience, and I never think about it again. And I haven't always been that way. This has been a hard-learned lesson. The times in my life when I have overreacted to criticism were times when I felt insecure. And I felt like I had to fight against every little slight. Or times when I was just spoiling for a fight and felt like getting in the mud.